And that's heartening to hear. Despite loss of life, despite the hardship that goes with the Afghan mission from a NATO and a Canadian standpoint, certainly that is there. But in every case, I talk to soldiers who, my soldiers, who have been there, and all of them got their hands in the air to go back again. And we couldn't send them all back on Task Force 110, of course, because they just come out of theater last year. But we did send a few guys back again on this task force. One, because their services were needed for the task force, but two, they were hand in the air wanting to go back over and finish what they started. I guess you could put it in those terms, because there's work still to be done there, and they want to be part of the success of Afghanistan. And the best way they think they can do it, and they believe they can do it, is by being there on the ground. They see the progress that they're making, and we've all heard the stories of building of schools, and now the girls are in schools, young children are in schools, and those things were not necessarily in place 4 or 5 years ago to the extent they are now. And as soldiers go back on multiple tours, they see that progression, and it's not even within their own 6 or 9 month window. They see a certain amount of progression, but then they come back for a couple of years and they have the opportunity to go back on another tour 2.5 years down the road. The progress that is being made in those aspects in Afghanistan is significant, and we don't always hear about that in the media a lot of the times, because it tends to focus a lot on the combat aspect and that sort of aspect. But I can tell you that the soldiers come back after being there a second time, or perhaps even a third time in some cases, and the progress that is being made from a nation building, from a community building standpoint over there, making the country better, is significant in their minds, and they want to be a part of that. And in their mind, that there's still work to be done in that regard, so they want to be on the ground, assisting that progress, so it progresses even more.
And that's our look at deploying troops to Afghanistan. Remember, the best way to pay tribute to those young men and women who serve this great nation is to take the time to hear the stories of what they had gone through to make this world a better place for all to live in. Thank you for joining us and watching The Veteran.